Let's talk about sniping in Warzone. Pros and cons of having a sniper on your team, what your role as a sniper is, and more importantly, what the best snipers are. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so that you know when I go live and or when I post a video. Also, be sure to go check me out on TikTok for daily content. But let's jump into it. One down right there. I have 2 down right there. And I'm about to get called a hacker because I have 3 down right there. Aw, apparently I'm hacking. I don't know. Let's jump right into it. I'm not going to sugarcoat everything, so I'll just get straight to the point. The pros and cons of sniping. Also, a quick side note, what you're seeing in the background is just some gameplay from a Rebirth game that I had the other day. Anyways, back to it. Now, obviously, depending on your playstyle and what you can do behind the controller, behind the mouse and key, whichever you prefer, no one's going to judge you, except some people might. Not me, though. I play controller. Aim assist, baby. And of course, how comfortable you feel with that particular weapon. When you're playing quads in particular, one of the pros of having a sniper on your team, even if it's just one, is the fact that they can get a knock early on in a team fight, which allows the rest of your team to have a 3v4 advantage. And sometimes, even if you don't get a knock in a team fight, you can actually just couple that with like a cracked plate or something, and it allows your team to follow up with only a couple shots with an AR. So if you're like my teammates and you can't hit your shots, you're in better shape. Next, obviously another pro is the range that you have with a sniper compared to an AR. You effectively have the entire map. Yeah, there'll be some bullet drop off, obviously, after 200 meters, but effectively, you can just shoot that thing and it will go the entire range of the map, depending on where you shoot it. There are obviously factors that come into play, like bullet lag, bullet drop off, bullet speed, or velocity. Any of those things may affect it, but you can still shoot that thing across the entire map and potentially get a kill, even though Caldera kind of sucks for that. Let's jump right into some of the cons though. Obviously, if you're using an SMG as your secondary, it's going to be a little bit harder inside of about 50 meters to hit some shots, with really only the Modern Warfare car and the Swiss doing very well under 50 meters. And that's why a lot of people couple their snipers with an AR like the Cold War AK or the Cooper carbine, or something that will give them a little bit more range, somewhere between 75 and 50 meters, or maybe even like a long range SMG like the MP7, the MP40, or the PPSH, Cold War PPSH, by the way. Next, I want to touch on your role as a sniper, what to do in team fights, and how to do it effectively. So like I said before, your job is pretty much just to look for knocks early on, or even finishes on enemies that your team has knocked. Sometimes your teammates might get some good shots on someone really far range, but then they are like ducked behind cover, a rock or something, and it's up to you to just finish that kill off so that you guys have an advantage going into the team fight. Sometimes what I even like to do when I'm sniping is to look at the person that my teammates are already shooting at and get a quick shot off on them so that my teammates can actually just finish that kill quickly. The quicker that we down one person, the more of an advantage that we have going forward. Now, this is assuming a 4-on-4 case, but if you're playing a man down, then it's absolutely vital that you guys get a pick early on. Without a pick early on, you're going into a close quarters fight, either a man down, 2 men down, or if you're cracked, 3 men down. There are, however, a lot of main differences between sniping on Caldera and sniping on Rebirth. Rebirth Island is obviously smaller, so it's going to incentivize more aggressive sniping and leave you in the dust if you're just sitting back and camping. Looking at you, tower campers. Whereas Caldera, you can play either an aggressive style, a laid-back style, or really anything in between. Since Caldera has come out though, there have been a lot of changes in the world of the sniping loadouts, so I'm going to take you through all those changes right now, and potentially, we'll pick the best sniper for you. It's going to be the Modern Warfare Car 98K, but we'll do it anyways. Before we jump into this, I want to mention 2 things. 1, if you're playing Vanguard Royale, use the Car 98K. It is the only good sniper that is from Vanguard, and you should not use anything else except maybe the SVT. I don't know yet. No, use the Car 98K. And 2, there's this awesome website out there called Warzone Loadout, and it has a ton of contributions from many different content creators and pros really at the game. And really all you have to do is type in your gun. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm literally going to use that for this video. So shout out to Warzone Loadout. You probably won't see this or this shout out, but I appreciate you for your hard work, man. Really, it's dope. Anyways, finger guns, let's go. Oh, and the link to that website will be in the description. So I guess we'll start with the Vanguard Car 98K. Now this thing really, I'm not the biggest fan of it, quite honestly. I don't like the feel of the Vanguard snipers, I don't know why they changed sniping so drastically. Just stick with the basics, stick with the fluidness of the Modern Warfare engine and feel, and go from there. It's not the hardest thing to do in the world, but I digress. So I'm going to be putting the loadouts here, so they don't take too much out of the screen, and we can all see them. We can talk about them. I think I did that right. Are we back to normal? I get confused because like I'm here, you're there. Okay. Anyways, so the only thing I'll say about the loadout that they have on this website and what I would probably run differently, but again, it is all situational, all up to you. Both will work interchangeably. Is I prefer a silencer. So instead of the F8 stabilizer, I'm gonna run the MX silencer, and I prefer a bit more ADS speed. So instead of the 5-round fast mag, I would run the 3-round that gives you more ADS speed. And like I said, use this if you're going to be sniping in the Vanguard Royale mode. It's going to be the best one that you have available and really the only good sniper of the Vanguard bunch. But it does kind of serve more as a faster sniper, so you can be a bit more aggressive with it than you could be with like the HDR, which slows you down a lot. So next up is going to be the Swiss K31, which is one of my favorites, and I've gone back and forth with this trying to figure out where it fits in the meta for months now. But I did figure out it fits in more in that like 60 to 120 meter range, maybe even 70 to 120 meter range, where you're a little further out than what's considered close range sniping, but it's still entirely dominant and quick enough to react at those shorter ranges. The Swiss is definitely one of those snipers that's like entirely too satisfying to use. If you get a feel for this gun, you can pop headies from 100 to 200 meters out, no problem. So if you do slap on the Swiss, be sure to use this loadout, and you can actually change out the fast mag because you already have a pretty fast reload speed. So you can change that out for the Raider stock or the combat stock, whichever you prefer. If you want a bit more strafe speed, then go to combat stock. And again, that's only if you don't care about that slightly faster reload speed. The fast mag also hurts your ADS speed, so it's kind of hand in hand. And don't worry where it says duo trio build right there. That's the build. That right there is the build, except for what I just said about possibly changing out the stock. And last but not least, my personal favorite sniper, the Modern Warfare 2019 Kar 98K. This thing, there's so much I can say about this sniper. Technically, it's a marksman rifle, just like the Swiss is, but it's a sniper in my eyes and in many others, and it's a top 5 Call of Duty sniper. Probably top 3, but we won't go down that road. I know a lot of people have their feelings about sniper rifles and Call of Duty, so here's the builds, because there's 3 of them, except in my opinion, all 3 of these, the last attachment you see here listed should be the focus perk. Now, when Caldera came out, they nerfed the Swiss and the Modern Warfare Kar to give it flinch. That was my dog yawning if you just heard that. That was not me farting. I swear, I don't feel like re-recording this. So the focus perk negates some of that flinch. It used to negate all of that flinch, and then they realized, oh wait, we f***ed up. Let's fix that. So now it negates some of that flinch. And I still think it's far superior to run. So from left to right, instead of the sport comb, run the focus perk. Instead of the stippled grip tape, run the focus perk. And instead of the precision comb, run the focus perk. And that's all. That is the Warzone sniping meta. I do truly hope that you guys gained something from this. If you made it this far, that means the world to me, like quite honestly, as we're trying to build this channel and this community. I do truly appreciate that. But let me know in the comments if you have any concerns, questions, or anything about these builds that I just went over. I'd really like to hear what you learned if you didn't know something before that maybe you came away from this video with. But with all that being said, be sure to subscribe and like the video. Really would appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks.